I don't know if this is gonna be a good idea because my stomach's making all kinds of noise because apparently I'm hungry, but I just don't have the appetite to eat, so yeah. So today's video is going to be a little bit of makeup therapy session, but I'm also going to be using some of the new Colourpop Barbie collection products that I purchased that came in the mail, and I'm excited about using them, even though I'm just so busy and kind of feeling a little vulnerable, I guess. We'll get into it. If you're new to my channel, my name is Samantha. I am a mom of 3. I work full-time, and I am a makeup enthusiast, and I don't take myself too seriously, and neither should you. So today I'm just gonna go in with my Milani Soft Focus Glow. This is in the shade number 2 Golden Glow. I picked this out in my Shop My Stash about a month ago. I was gonna try to switch it up like in 2 weeks or something, but I just never got around to it. Mother's Day came, and then so much stuff has happened recently, so I just did not change my Shop My Stash stuff, and I'll go into it a little bit. I like put way too much on my hands, and I don't have a mirror, so basically you know, we got 7 chickens, so we moved the chickens outside. We moved them from in the house to the basement to then outside, and that's been a whole thing, preparing for the chickens to go outside, getting a coop, researching the coops and all that. So that's been a thing. Work has been absolutely insane. We've just been kind of short-staffed, and I'm finding myself covering a lot. Alright, so I don't know exactly where I left off, but you know, everything with the chicks was just a lot of to-dos. My husband took last week off from work, and he just started plowing through a bunch of home products, like finishing painting the bathroom and stuff like that. Our dog, one of our 2 dogs, got fixed, so that was a whole thing. And then my youngest spontaneously has had difficulty with swallowing, so we've had a bunch of appointments with specialists and stuff like that, and emergency room visit obviously when it happened. I just pulled out this Milani Screen Queen. This is in the shade 410 Tawny. I loved this foundation last year. I used a darker shade for the summertime, and then I bought this for the winter, and I didn't really use it, so I'm going into it today because I think it'll kind of match where I'm at. See, my face is lighter because I wear sunscreen every day on my face, so and we've been at soccer games and this and that busy, so I have gotten very tan. So yeah, so we've been kind of just trying to do everything we can do for my daughter, make sure she's getting proper nutrition. She's in great spirits, like she doesn't even seem to care that she can't have regular food, but you know, I know it's still probably somewhat disappointing for her, but she's been really great about it. And I think it's been harder for me as a parent anyway to know that she can't have all the things she normally would, and it's hard for me to like eat her favorite things in front of her knowing that she's having difficulty having them. So yeah, we've just been super busy with that and just trying to, you know, figure everything out. Like I said, I don't know if I did say, but I was talking about work. You know, we've been kind of short-handed, and it's okay to cover people, but sometimes it gets a little exhausted because you're doing twice as much work. So I'm just a little more tired than usual too when I come home from work, and then, you know, we're dealing with all the extra stuff of taking care of the house and everything. So I've just been like kind of taking a breather from really doing extra stuff. It feels good to do this because, you know, it's relaxing for me to do my makeup, and then also like I can kind of talk to the world without having to really talk to people, because sometimes I feel like, you know, you talk to your friends or you say something to somebody and they have all these questions, or they think that they know the answer, so they're like want to tell you like, oh, maybe it's her tonsils, and maybe it's this, and maybe it's that, and it's like, you know, I don't need more advice, I just need to talk about things. And that's part of the reason why I like filming so much, because it kind of gives me that extra little outlet. So I'm going to use this Kimchi the most concealer. I have this in, what shade is this? Light tan. I don't even know if this is going to match me because I've gotten, again, so dark. But this was in my Shop My Stash. So I'm going to update that today. For sure. Like I said, I mentioned it even in my Mother's Day video, and then I got so busy. My sister surprised us from coming out of town to visit for Mother's Day, and yeah, we just got too busy and I didn't get to it. And then I was like, you know what, I don't really care that much to dry myself nuts. I just kept using the same makeup, and like I got some stuff in the mail like that I had ordered previously, and I always kind of take my new products and put it in so that I can play with them. So with that, I have gotten like a little bit of variety, because like my Natasha Denona Zendo palette had came in, and my Juvia's Place bronzer. So I've been playing with that stuff too, so it's not like I haven't. It's definitely light, but I'm gonna make it work. We're just kind of taking it day by day, trying to make sure my daughter gets all the nutrition she needs, and till we have her procedure, she is gonna have an endoscopy so they can actually see what's going on in her esophagus, and we can have more clear answers to what's going on. But that's not going to be for another couple weeks, so it does seem like it's going to be forever. I know that time will go by quicker, but you know, you just want your baby to feel better now. I'm going to go in with the tan Jouer's powder. I dropped it like a long time ago, and I like repressed that section, so it looks a little crazy, but this was one of my favorite ones. And I have, oh, I think I have a lash in my eye. The shade medium. I do use it and I like it, but I don't like it as much as the tan, because I think the shade medium is just a little neutral leaning, so it ends up making my under eyes look a little darker. This might be too dark right now too, but we're already in it, so it is what it is at this point. And I'm trying not to disturb it too much because I don't want it to just fall apart on me. Actually, that doesn't look bad. This is the Hydrate and Set powder. This was like my go-to forever, and then I finally figured out how to use the Charlotte Tilbury, and I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I did not like that one when I first got it. Now I love it. I think I like it more than the Jouer powder. But since I figured it out how to use it, to be honest, I haven't really gone back to the Jouer powder as much. So I think that's something I want to do this kind of month of rotation of stuff. I'm going to go in with the bronzer from Juvia's Place. I'm going in with the lighter one right now. I mean, it's only May, so by July, I'll probably be dipping into the darker one. This is the Tan Duo. And who knows, I might even need to like boop boop mix it up, which is nice that it has 2 shades, so you can kind of do that if you need to. Yeah, so I'm nervous about vacation time because, like I said, we've been consistently short, and it's hard to like plan things when you just don't have the staff. And my job is not a job that like, I used to work like front desk in a clinic, and like that job is like, okay, a patient's here, you check them in, you do all their like insurance stuff, whatever, and then they walk away and they sit in the seat, and that's it, you're done with them. They come out of their appointment, you make their follow-up, you're done for the day. But because I do surgery scheduling, there's always follow-up that's needed, whether it's checking on insurance authorizations and making sure the OR time is correct or the order of the cases are correct, changing things if the doctor switches on call schedule with somebody or anything like that. So, you know, it's just always changing, making sure patients are COVID tested, pre-tested, you know, the whole 9. And so you really need to follow up a patient like from start to finish. And so it's hard to take time off, and then you're just kind of relying on other people to do that for you, for your specific patients that you feel responsible for. And then you're like, please don't mess it up, because I don't want to come back and have a patient upset or have to reschedule the whole surgery or whatever. So yeah, that's where we are at. So I do have to say, this makes me so happy to see a Barbie collection. I know that there's a lot of adults out there that are like, nah, I don't care. But I grew up with little to no money. My mom was a single parent. We grew up in the hood. And Barbies was like my favorite thing. That and a Cabbage Patch doll. And I have a sad story about that, but we're not going to talk about it today. But Barbies were like my favorite thing, and I would wait all year long for my birthday in October to get a new Barbie, or for Christmas. And like really that's only time I would get like a new gift, a toy. And it was just such a magical thing. And like the few Barbies that I had, I would just treasure them, and like their little outfits and everything. And like I would make things out of other things for my Barbies. Like, do you remember when you used to get pizza boxes and they always came with those little white things to hold the box up in the center from like crushing your pizza? I used to take them and clean them off and then use them as like little tables for my Barbies, and I would make little dust mats and all kinds of stuff. So Barbies I love, and my oldest is not into Barbies at all, but my youngest is. And so I just thought this was so very cute. I got the highlighter. I didn't get the whole collection. I didn't get the mirror because I didn't need it. I didn't get all the lipsticks because I don't need all that. And I didn't get, I feel like that was another thing. But I did get the highlighter. I got 1 lipstick set, and I got the palettes. So I'm really excited about this. Because it's cute. And why not? And the highlighter actually looked like a shade I could use, which was nice, because sometimes you'd be seeing these highlighters and they just look icy. I'm trying to find a brush. All right, we're going to use this brush here. And I tried one of my first Super Shock highlighters recently. Like I had some before, but they were too icy, and I always just used them as I cannot find the freaking word, eyeshadow, like eyeshadow toppers or inner corner highlight. So yeah, this is kind of nice. It is a little icier than I would have thought. It's a little light for me. Let me swatch it on my hand so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It is a little icy. It's not as gold. So I'm actually not loving it. It's a little neutral too, so it's like kind of looks weird. Take the bronzer and kind of buff it out a little bit, and then I'll go in with blush to kind of dye it down. I wasn't sure, so yeah, let's put on the other side just to kind of even it out. I don't have any place to go. I took the day off today for one of my daughter's appointments, and we're just home now, and she's watching TV, doing her thing. So we've been homeschooling them all along, the little ones anyway. So she's been done with school for like a week. We just been giving her like extra worksheets and stuff like that to kind of keep her busy some of the days, her and my son. But overall, they both, it doesn't look horrible, but I could probably wear this in the winter when I'm not as tan. But because even in just like this last week, my hair looks so crazy. That's why I never wear it down, because it like doesn't stay how I want it. Anyway, I look like a giant triangle. That's why I wear just the bun all the time. Yeah, I could probably wear this when I'm a little bit lighter. Just in like the last like 3 or 4 days, I've gotten so much more tan. And it is gold, but it's just like, it has that taupiness to it. It's a little bit more neutral leaning. Alright, well that's that. I was a lot more excited for it than it actually turned out to be, but whatever, it's okay. This is the palette. It was $25. I actually want to hold it next to, because Colourpop been getting expensive. This is the Limoncello palette. It's a little bit bigger. Let me see, like, yeah, like this one was $18, and it has a mirror in it, and it comes with 12 grams of product. And this one was $25. I know it's Barbie themed, I mean, but it only comes with 10.5 grams of product, and it was $25. So I'm not really sure that it's worth that. It does also have a mirror, and then it has square pans instead of the round pans. So with the Limoncello, you get 12 shades of shadow, and this one comes with 15 shades of shadow. So I guess you get 2 extra shadows, but you're getting less product in each pan. So this is what she looks like. I think I'm gonna go in first with Let's Go Party. Yeah, come on Barbie. And I'm gonna go in with my Milani eyeshadow primer. This has been the only eyeshadow primer that works. I feel like I have other ones that work temporarily. Like I used to use the MAC Paint Pro pots all the time, but they still crease a little. It's not as much, but that used to be my tried and true before I discovered the Milani one years and years ago, like in high school and stuff. But it doesn't work 100%. I like the e.l.f. one on occasion. That one still breaks down on me, but it is not as user-friendly when you're applying it because it's extremely dry. I slurp every single time. I try not to, but I cannot help it. I know I'm annoying. My husband, it drives him nuts, but anyways. Oh, I forgot to go in with blush. Let me do that so that way my cheek doesn't look so crazy. So I'm gonna go in with my Tower 28 in Power Hour. This was in my Shop My Stash. I've been trying to be good and stick with it. I haven't added too many things to it because I don't want to be you know, I do want to get use out of my products. I don't want to be wasteful. Oh, so much better. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? I'm pretty surprised they didn't come out with blushes, because I mean, I don't know, I just would think that they would put some blushes in this collection, but we didn't see any. So we got this big fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into Let's Go Party and take that into my crease area. Very pigmented. I like that. I'm not too worried about the quality because Colourpop's pretty good. There's not many palettes that are crap. Pretty much most of the palettes that I haven't bought from them is more because the shades, like the color stories, have been pretty boring and not very inspiring. And then also the only bad palette I've ever really had from them was the Aurora ones or something, because they were like pastels and they were just way too chalky and like faded on my skin. They didn't really work. So now I've been kind of like looking at this palette and thinking about what I wanted to do. I think I'm gonna go into Best Coast, which is the hot pink shade. I'm gonna also blend that in the crease, but like slightly lower. My son is being super annoying right now. I can hear my husband trying to reason with him. Let me tell you, these kids nowadays, I look so crazy. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna just... So if any of you guys have a son, you guys know about Lego Dimensions. It's like a video game where you build the little characters and you put them on this pad. The characters have these stands with like chips in them. When you put the character on the stand, it recognizes that this character is going to be playing in the game and puts them in the game. You can't use the character if you don't have the little chip thing. So you have to collect the Lego things to get the little chips to play the different characters, to play the different games. So my son is obsessed with Ghostbusters. He's been obsessed with Ghostbusters his entire life. I'm going to go in with Zuma Beach, which is the brown. So he's obsessed with Ghostbusters. So there's a Ghostbuster theme one with the female Ghostbusters. And we have like an old Xbox 360. It was my husband's. And my son plays it. It works fine. So we get the thing and the little character doesn't work on the game. My husband assumes because the game piece was brand new that it can't be the game piece. It has to be that it's no longer compatible with the Xbox. He did some research. That game you can't play with the Xbox. So freaking complicated for no goddamn reason. And he goes and gets a PS4 because my son does not care that it's not compatible. He wants to play the game. Find him a way to play the damn game to shut him up. So my husband goes out of his way. He has a friend who has the PS4. He goes and gets the PS4 from the friend. And we're going on like weeks, okay? Because we had to wait a week or two for the Lego pieces to come in. Then he put it in the game. It doesn't work. Then he's trying to figure out why it's not working. That's another week goes by. We're on the 4th week. His friend says, hey, I have a PS4 because I got the new PS5. You can have the PS4. Okay, we go out and get the PS4. That takes about a week because, they live an hour away. He gets the game, puts it in yesterday. Doesn't work. And I said to him, maybe it's the little chip in the character. Why he hasn't thought of that in 4 weeks, I don't know. So then he's like, okay. He finds some guy on Facebook who has the Ghostbuster character pieces because he doesn't want to pay full price for it. So he's like, maybe I'll just get them used and be cheaper, blah, blah, blah. So he meets some guy 40 minutes away to go get the new game piece, comes home and it works. So the whole trip for the PS4 was a waste of time. But now my son won't leave the living room, so no one else can watch TV down here. He has TV in his room, But the game system is down here. My husband didn't want to move it to his room because, you know, my husband still plays games. So my son's only option is to play the game in our living room. But that means no one else can watch TV in the living room. It's been a whole freaking situation. Because now the little one can't watch TV in her room because the oldest is doing school via Zoom in there all day. So it's just a debacle. So there's that whole drama. We're going to go in with this shade here. It's called Follow the Sun. I'm like making a mess. And I'm going to put that on the center of the lid. And then a little bit towards the front of the lid, but not all the way. This is so pretty. Oh, so pretty. So funny. I was joking and like singing the little song we have. I call him my fourth child, the kid down the street. He's in my house every single day since COVID started. He was like new to the neighborhood, and then the kids were all riding their bikes, and they were out there every single day in the beginning of COVID. And the poor kid, he came over one day and was like, let's go, can the kids come out and ride their bikes? And I was like, I don't feel like sitting out here and it's cold. Can you just ask your mom if you can come in? So he's my fourth child. He's been in the house all the time now. And I was singing that song, Come On Barbie, Let's Go Party. He's like, that song is a real vibe though. I was just dying laughing. I'm going to go in with the blue shade, the blue shimmer called Surfs Up, and put that on the inner part of the lid. And kind of try to blend it with the pink there. Now the kids can't find the thing to the switch. Alright, I think that looks pretty fun. I'm using all natural light today. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like, it's a little cloudy outside, but it's consistently cloudy. So I was like, what the hell, you know? Alright, and now I'm going to take Vintage Doll and put that in the inner corner. I kind of, like I said, I've been looking at this palette and looking at the swatches on Instagram and kind of like thinking about how I was going to use this because I was so excited for it. They're definitely not all the same. Like, I feel like I'm gonna swatch them for you, but there's some shades that are a little bit more smoother and then some that are more chalky. This one is a little more chalky. The blue one I felt like even a little bit was a little chalky. I think I'm just gonna take the pink, Best Coast, the hot pink matte, and just go under the lash line with that. I think that's gonna be fun, and yeah, I want to do that. Alright, so I used the little new was it Clear Feather Effect styling wax, and I got the little wand to go with it. I do like the wand. It's very ergonomically correct, but we'll see. I mean, it's hard to tell with these things. They're all like dupes of each other, and I don't really want to make the video and have that be any kind of part of the focus point on it. Okay, so we got some lashes on. I put mascara. I didn't buy the doll lashes just because I have so many lashes and I really just don't wear them. I don't want to be wasteful and keep buying them. So I have here the last piece, the duo, and I did not get any of the pink shades. Although I'm sure this has like a pinkish tint to it. I got the Golden Beach duo, and the packaging is so freaking cute. So this logo is different than the logo on the other ones because that's like the old school Barbie logo, but this is actually like the logo to the show my daughter watches now, which is like Barbie Dream House, which is pretty cool. And so this is the lip liner, also in Golden Beach. So we're gonna go in with this. It's not that creamy. Feels stiff. Like I have other Colourpop liners. I don't really use lip liner that much, but I do like their formula. This one's a little stiff. It might just be because it's new. And then this is the lipstick, and it has Barbie on it. Let me see if I can get it so you guys can see. How cute is that? And we're gonna put it on. This is not the most flattering lipstick on me. I think let me put a different liner over top and kind of give it more dimension and see if I like it better. Okay, so I went in with BFF2. You can see she's disgusting. I use her all the time. I need to sharpen her again. Well, not all the time, but when I do use liner, that's the liner that I'm using. So far, I really like the palette. Let me just go over some of the shades with you guys. So, I mean, obviously I didn't use all the shades, but I do feel like this one here, which is Follow the Sun and Shine On, are softer, smoother, sparklier shadows. They're not indie brands, and they're never gonna be that. The rest of them are nice and creamy as well. This is Cali Girl, and this one is Come On. They're nice and smooth, but they're like more, I don't know, they're not as slippery as these two. These two almost feel, sorry, everything is blurry now. These two almost feel like Super Shocks. These are really just nice creamy shadows. But I did find that, let me just clean my hand off. And let me see, 1971. This is 1971. That's nice and creamy as well. But the shades Vintage Doll, you can see, I don't know, and I put my finger in there, it's crumbly. It's a crumbly shadow, and I feel like, yeah, Surf's Up is the same. They're like crumbly, like they just feel slightly, and when I swatch it, it looks chalky. It doesn't quite blend into the skin. You kind of have to rub it in. So those two are the two that I feel like, let me stop. Those two on the bottom are the ones that I feel like the quality isn't as good. So this is Vintage Doll and this is Surf's Up. It looks good on the eyes. It's not hard to work with, but they're just like kind of crumbly in a chalky kind of way. The rest of these feel like a just really good, nice, creamy eyeshadow. These two are a little bit smoother and almost like sparklier. This first one is Shine On, and then there's Follow the Sun. This one is Cali Girl. Oh, sorry. Come On, Cali Girl, and 1971. And then the mattes all seem like they're the same. I will swatch them just because it may look a little different on my skin tone. I think Pat McGrath just got dropped off to my house. I'm so excited. I can't wait to run out there and go grab it. So this is Let's Go Party, which was the peachy shade. This is Zuma Beach, which is the brown I have on my outer corner. Malibu Memories. Best Coats. This one feels like a pigment. It feels dry, not as creamy. This one is West Coast, which is the yellow. That also kind of feels like a pigment. Then this one is SoCal. Let's do this kind of like in between. SoCal. And then Boardwalk. And the last one is Make Waves, which is just like a camo color. So those are all the shadows. I think the pigmentation is nice. The blendability is good. You could see when I was doing it, I didn't have any troubles with it. Yeah, I really overall am happy with it. I like the color story. I did see that somebody mentioned like on their new makeup video, like when they were just talking about new makeup that's coming out, like it looks like the Embreezy palette. I agree, it kind of looks like the Embreezy palette, but I think if you were looking for an Embreezy dupe, I honestly think the Kimchi something Sharts palette, I have it somewhere. Where is it? I have the mini version. If you were looking for an Embreezy dupe, I would go with the Kimchi, what's it called? Rainbow Sharts palette. And this is what she looks like. She is more of a dupe to the Embreezy one. This one's just slightly different because it has like the yellows and oranges. Let me not make a mess of my shirt. As you can tell, there's similarities with the pink and the blue and the browns. But aside from that, if you were looking for an Embreezy dupe, I don't think the Barbie one would be it. I would actually go with this. And I got the mini palette because I don't really go through eyeshadows that much, and I really enjoyed that palette as well. So that is kind of my first impressions on it. That was me just chatting with you guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And it would be awesome, like super awesome, if you could subscribe to my channel. So until next time, check out a video that I'm going to add somewhere in here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.